Alright, I'm going to do a bit of a champion guide here. Currently, I've got a build for champion where I feel like it's in a really strong place. In fact, I'd probably say this is one of the strongest things I've seen in Kerrigan Survival for a very long time. And currently I've got a 75% win rate or something overall, including games where I was learning champion and creating my own builds for it and stuff. And with the current build I have, I reckon it's more like a 90 to 94% win rate, if I had to estimate. And that's including both public games and pre-made games. So I feel like this is a very strong build, and I'm going to give a guide on how to achieve it in public games. And I reckon if you do enjoy Champion, or even if you don't enjoy Champion, maybe you could pick this up and probably get some very easy wins, some free MMR. But I do imagine that at some point this will be nerfed, because like I said, this is very powerful. So we'll get into it, and I will point out the key components of what I think makes this build strong compared to how I used to play it. So we begin the game by looking for a good eco spot on the minimap, and that's usually a 4 to 6 grid wide corridor. So we're going to start off with an eco, maybe somewhere up here. Haven't had any champion games on this new map, so I'm not super sure where I would like to go. Maybe not like this actually. Maybe I don't. How likely is it they path up here? You know what, we could just go on the high ground ourselves. You're going to want to place 2 shards to wall your eco spot. And just start with the 2 shards only, since you'll need the minerals for the next step. If the wall needs more than 2 shards to block the path, that's fine. You can complete the wall after you finish the next step. So we'll start off with 2 shards to wall off. We could do 1 shard plus a Hall of Heroes. Usually I like the Hall of Heroes further away from my eco, just so it's a bit less obvious where the Centurion's coming from. Next, you want to build a Hall of Heroes and make your Centurion. Once your Centurion has started building, make a probe from your champion and send it back to your eco spot. And from here, you want to be farming gas with the Centurion and chronoing the shards you use to wall your eco with. We'll start off with that. We'll get a Hall of Heroes done and build our Centurion ASAP so we can farm some gas with it. And then get a probe back up here so we can wall off the other side in this case, because it's not a dead end. And we'll be keeping these shards up, the walling shards up, and we'll be chronoing them, because it's only 1 gas, it's very efficient. But for our main eco, we'll be using crystals. Ideally plus chrono, but it just depends on how much gas we have. We'll go get our gas here, and wall this as soon as possible. Getting these chronoed will help speed us up a bit. And it can be a bit of a gap between our getting our first crystal, waiting for the minerals and stuff. So we'll be building a couple of shards to salvage. It'll help us get the crystal faster with that 90% salvage rate. Definitely pay back for itself. Chrono that one. But we want to be building them in a particular spot where it helps to... Oh, that's not good. Where it helps to make sure we don't reveal our economy. Okay, nice, it's gone. We'll just rebuild there. Now that you've walled your eco, you want to make 2 shards away from the walls of your eco, and it's important to not chrono these, as you're going to want to salvage them when you have 200 minerals, and then build a crystal and chrono it. So we want to build them in the middle of the path. We don't want to build it on the edge of a wall. We want to make sure there's at least 1 gap between a wall when we build up here, because if we plan on salvaging them, they might drop a gas blob. And Lings can pick up gas blobs from the low ground, as long as if it's built on the edge and it drops that gas blob, Lings will be able to pick it up from the low ground as they run along there. And sometimes it can reveal your eco. It's not super common, but we'll be able to make sure that doesn't happen just by building them in the middle there. They won't be able to pick them up from the low ground. Also building them away from your actual wall. But we'll just wait till we get 200 minerals, and then we'll be able to build our crystal. So we can salvage now. Salvage these 2 middle ones. We're also going to be wanting Talus at some point. Talus is going to be our main gas farmer, and the main hero we're going to be keeping our champion in for potentially the entire game, depending on how things go. Sometimes better later on, such as in a base, to get them in a stone avatar, or even a Eldrin sometimes. But I'm going to delay it for a crystal here. Usually I do build one shard and do it again to salvage it before I build the crystal. It's just I forgot here because I was talking. But in this case, after the second crystal, that's when I stop building shards. And usually around the second crystal or third crystal, it's usually sometime around that point, second or third crystal, I'll get my talus. If I don't think I can chrono my third crystal, then I'll get my talus. If I do, then I'll get the third crystal and then talus. So just keep up the farming and get to that point. Once we have talus, our gas farming potential will be much greater, as well as our safety on our hero. It'll be really hard to kill us. Now that you have at least 2 chrono crystals, you're going to want to get a talus and start farming with your hero in her. And you can leave the Centurion behind somewhere, such as at the gateway, to maybe get the occasional link. It's also worth looking for somewhere to secure a second eco spot early on after you've got a few crystals, and this will just make your game far more consistent instead of gambling on hoping that you don't have your first eco found within the first few minutes. And after we get our talus, I'm also going to want to move around the map a little bit and get a second eco spot up, a second potential eco spot up. We don't have to actually use it yet, just to make it somewhere where we can immediately remake eco if our main one is found, and it makes it so that we can set up really fast, as well as not being easy to predict. Like if they make us salvage here, pretty safe for them to say that my next eco is going to be pretty much on top of where my talus currently is. So if we can get a probe out somewhere and have it on the map ready for that, it'll make it a lot easier to hide. I might even do it down here. I might go up here. And for now, we don't have a huge amount of gas, so we'll just stick with unchronoed crystals for now. We managed to get quite a few with chrono. Usually I probably don't even get this many. Just depends on how much gas you farm. Usually I only get like 3. Sometimes you do get a lot though, if they feed you a ling ball or something. Especially after you get level 3 on talus. Once you get stim, you can start farming ling balls really well. We'll try and get one more gas. Like we won't be able to. Okay, there we go. One more gas, build the crystal, then we can build a wall here. We can put all the heroes in there. We can later use this for spawning taluses. Main way that I like to get gas around the map is talus spawns, and I might actually start with it after the next crystal. So I'll get 1-1 in this crystal. At least we'll get 1 attack first, because we're not worried about dying. If you are worried about dying, or if you're versing a Dahaka maybe, worth getting 1 attack first. But here we shouldn't need to. Hopefully he does kill off this. Looks like someone's disconnecting. Nah, he reacted a bit slow, but that's okay. Oh, okay. Never mind, a lot of people disconnecting. I guess there is a problem with Blizzard or the game or something. Sometimes that happens, where it causes many people to disconnect. So we're floating a lot of minerals, that's fine. We're going to have to start... Kerrigan's up here. We're going to have to start getting our gas income then. We'll do that with taluses. Once your gas count starts to get low and you start to float minerals, usually around the point where you have like plus 30 minerals per second, you want to get 1-1 and start massing taluses and patrolling them around the map for map controlling gas income. And this, along with a tight early build order, is basically all of what has really skyrocketed my champion win rate. Try and get a bit of gas here, but not risk taking health damage on our talus. So we'll be able to start spawning these, get them patrolling around. Oh, she's level 3. How the fuck did she get level 3? Yeah, this is fine. We one-shot links, so it's actually just gas feed for us. Especially if she sends these guys over. Nice. Yeah, with stim and +1 attack, you definitely want to be farming lings. Or just stim in general. So we'll be able to start sending these taluses around. Interesting, Zagara's up there. Is that because creeps all the way out there? Interesting, they might be chasing me. Well, we can make use of our other eco spot now because we've actually filled that one up. While we're floating minerals, we don't need to be chronoing, it's not as efficient. So, and because we have quite a bit of mineral income now, we'll want to be mostly focusing on new crystals instead of chrono. Try and farm more of these. That is a lot of blings. Gotta be a bit careful. They're definitely trying to go for the kill. Oh man, this is annoying. Gonna have to... I want to build some gateways around here. They'll be able to spawn taluses on multiple sides of the map now. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to run through this. We'll be able to... Nah, I'm gonna keep it going. I was thinking about getting talus move speed. I'm gonna get talus move speed, I lied. I think it's worth noting that the order of upgrades that you typically want to go for is 1 attack into 1 armor, then talus move speed, talus attack damage, 2 armor, 2 attack, and then usually you'll be able to end the game with those upgrades. If the game continues, you can go for the agility upgrade, and then the strength upgrade, then stone avatar health, then intelligence upgrade, then Teldarin attack speed into the Teldarin range, and then you can get 3-3. Usually, well, not usually, the other 2 upgrades are just straight up useless, so don't worry about them. Because now I don't want to die 1, but more importantly, if this weren't the case, I wouldn't be doing it, is that it actually helps our patrolling taluses also gain gas, so it's not too bad. So we've got move speed now, we're pretty much safe. I would like to make a new talus and get the full health on it. If not, that's fine. They might be coming up the ramp. We'll start spawning, hopefully taluses on the side of the map anyway. Alright, yeah, they are up here. They are really going for the kill. That's fine though. If this happens to you in your talus, or in your champion, you're pretty much fine about it, because as long as you don't look away for too long and make big mistakes, they will be wasting their time, sometimes in this case feeding you, and because I'm floating a lot of gas and minerals, I'm going to get talus attack upgrade. This should help me one-shot lings and will buff my taluses around the map a lot. And the big thing about my build that made my win rate ridiculously more consistent was cutting economy, not worrying about cutting economy, and investing in a bunch of taluses. Because what I found, like previously I'd be trying to get my gas farm with like Centurions, because, you know, the gas heavy class and Centurions don't cost gas, it only makes sense. Problem is, Centurions are like the worst unit in the entire game. So you don't want to be doing that, and instead we'll be going for talus patrols. So even though they cost gas, as you can see, our gas income is pretty nuts. I'm not really killing anything with my hero at this point. And it's because, okay, this is fine. We'll try and get a wall over here. Just for health. And it's because these taluses around the map are, okay, we'll salvage, are getting me absolutely insane gas income. Gonna have to re-eco here, and we're definitely going for the crystal eco over the artifact eco. It's far more efficient. Artifacts will be fine, they're space efficient and they are time efficient to place. We might be placing some later, but for now we don't need to. We'll get these patrolling this. We can defend ecos with our taluses, we can kill ling balls with our taluses. If we get enough taluses in a group, we can also take out tier 2 unit balls. It's just obviously a lot harder. We'll get her patrolling up here actually, because I want a, not attacking it, I want a full health talus for my hero. We can look at our gas. We're going completely insane with gas, so we're just going to hard chrono here, because I want to start getting 2 armor and then more taluses. Go for more taluses now, get this on hotkey. As we run around the map, I'm going to want to be placing more of our gateways so we can spawn from all around the map. So that will help us get map control. It will also help us later on for our game-ending play, which we'll be pushing. You can base with this strategy, definitely. I'd still do this strategy when I'm going for a base, because I find it just the most efficient and most consistent opener into mid game with this map control. But when it comes to your win rate and your win likelihood, the best thing you can do, the most consistent way to win with champion in my opinion, is all sides pushing with talus. I don't think, like even in pre-mates, there are some games where I just solo push with talus and it's just, I solo win it because this plus with this unit, talus, and her eco crystals are incredibly strong. Okay, they do have roaches out. I I don't want to mess with that. 3 taluses aren't going to do it. Roaches, as much as I'm saying this class is incredibly strong, which it is, roaches are still roaches, and we don't want to underestimate them. However, hydras, a little bit of a different story. Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind that. Those aren't roaches. We can just kill them. We'll keep upgrading the Seiko, or upping the Seiko with our crystals, building taluses around the map. Even if they're somewhat idle, it's fine because it's going to contribute to our end game, which is going to be pushing. So it's not too bad that I have a bunch sitting around idle. Obviously not the best case scenario. I'd rather have them patrolling so they're getting me more gas. But I'm just building up that supply count of taluses. And currently we're at max supply. Now that we're at max supply, now that we have a lot of income, and we have got our 2-2, our talus speed, and our talus damage, we can push. Now I'd usually suggest pushing, what I just do is F2, push all these taluses around the map, keep building them. You can push with your hero like this. Usually keep a ball of units with you so that if you get really low health on your hero talus, you just jump out and swap into a different one. If you're not as confident with that, with keeping your hero alive, like if you look away too long, you'll die. We'll start placing artifacts here because it's now our time is far more important, our attention. We're on creep. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, it's not a huge part of the push. It just helps it a little bit. So if you're not confident that you can keep your hero alive while pushing, don't go for it. It's not worth the extra little boost that it gives you during the push. Definitely practice with the non-hero units pushing at first. Like here we go, we're getting a little bit low. Let's say I had lower health, I'd swap out. There we go, full health again. And we can do it again, no problem. Okay, getting a little low. Oh, okay, not like that though, not like that. You need better mouse accuracy than me for that. I almost got killed there. So we'll just, we'll make more gateways now. We can focus on clearing out some of the unit production. Alright, where are our taluses? We need to bring some back to our hero. We can take this out. I'm just going to run up to this high ground. So what I'm doing is perma making taluses around the map. I don't have to look at ecos too much or anything, just at the mini-map. We can chrono everything. Kerrigan's here, so I will just leave. We can chrono everything. We don't really need to make more eco. Only reason we do is because we're floating. Well, that's very nice. We may as well go 3-3 then. Usually I skip 3-3, don't go for it at all, because it's just, it's not efficient for 20k minerals. You could be spending your minerals on much better stuff. And one of them is the agility upgrade, very good for your hero. It increases your move speed being the main thing. Also increases attack speed and some other stats, I think. I think it increases like, oh no, armors in Warcraft. Increases sight vision, I actually didn't know that. But yeah, very good upgrade for the move speed. So definitely worth going for that. Ecos are fine. We're going to keep up our pushing. You can see we're still at max supply. Looks like they don't have too much around the peripheral creep. So we'll just keep pushing that. May as well go for 3 attack because we're floating so much. Get all this on a hotkey. And now that we are at max supply and we've pretty much dealt with their mid, we can go for a... Okay, we salvage this real quick. That's what we do first. But then we can go for the League of Legends. And that will allow us to sit inside of a Stone Avatar with a Stone Avatar health upgrade and be not completely safe, but we will have a fuck ton of health and we will not have to worry about dying. Like I almost did earlier where I got low health. We don't have to worry about that. We just sit in this, like compared to the Talus, it's got like 500 or so health. Stone Avatar, 4k, so a lot safer. And it's a great unit as well. Turn off the auto casting on it if your hero's sitting on it. If you have non-hero Stone Avatars, it's fine to keep autocast on. But if your hero's in it, you want to turn the autocast off because you want to be targeting your abilities. It's way stronger. And it's worth doing if your hero's in it because your abilities are much stronger with your hero in it. Now we can go for the stat upgrades, and it's also worth it to go intelligence now that we have Stone Avatar. Make our spells stronger. We'll go for that. And then we don't need any more upgrades until we are going to base. In which case I get the Teldarin attack speed and the Teldarin attack range. Because your late game base composition is going to be Stone Avatars and Teldarins. If the game does go to the basing stage, you will primarily want to build stone avatars, and they'll do your tanking and the AoE, and you'll have a few Teldarins for some single target damage. With your hero, you're going to want to sit in a stone avatar for safety and for AoE, or fast pokes on the Zerg hero with the single target ability. And for more prolonged damage on single targets, such as a hunter trying to break the base, or on Somps and Megalisks, then use Teldarin. Mid game / early game, it's taluses. Okay, well Zerg left there, so GG. But yeah, that's my champion build that I play with, and I find it incredibly consistent. Very rare that I lose, and if I do lose, it's usually because I'm pushing on creep with my hero when I do my talus push. So if you want to make it even more consistent, honestly, I just set off creep without your hero. Also worth noting that once you get to level 7, your heroes become a lot stronger. The talus gets a huge damage and range buff in the form of a spell. Teldarin gets the same, but he doesn't have stim. Teldarin doesn't have stim, so it's really powerful on talus, and you can burst out the Zerg hero. The benefit of Teldarin is that it has a bit more health. So yeah, it is worth farming levels as well. But that's my champion build. GG.